Hey guys, EpicEpics here, coming at you guys with a Syllabear guide and tutorial. I just want to show you guys the simple builds and why this hero is super powerful, the way you should play it, and some of the advantages you have. Well, firstly, he's a great laner, and that's why he can solo the safe lane against a strong offlaner here like Windrunner. What you want to do is micro your bear on top of the enemy hero at the same time CSing, making sure that you're getting the last hits, as you see I'm doing here, while harassing the Windrunner out, disallowing him to get any last hits. Now the starting items would be Tangle, Salve, and a Ring of Protection for that fast Tranquils later. And there are some variations to different builds. As I see here that I'm getting advantage in the long lane, I go ahead and pick up the Stealth Shield first on the Spirit Bear. So that's the variation I want to talk about real quick here, is that you would want to get the Stealth Shield into a Orb of Venom, which is also available in the side shop right here, to actually allow your Spirit Bear's harassing to be stronger than it is. Now, if we speed up the video just a little bit here, you'll see the level. Once your Spirit Bear is level 3, you could essentially send back your Spirit Bear to go back to heal at maybe around half health. At this point, the Windrunner or whichever hero, I guess Darkseer or anybody, would be harassed significantly. And just make sure that you can still last hit with your hero only. As you see here, she's a little bit higher than you on damage, but it should not be a big problem. And once your Spirit Bear heals up, you can recall it right back, once again sending it onto the Windrunner, and you just go ahead and continue your last hits. If you look at the last hits here, Windrunner has 7-3, I have 12-1. I guess I was less focused on the denying, but definitely not losing out in any sense. And whereas if Windrunner were to play against other solo safe laners like Luna, you may have a harder time. And here you will see what I'm talking about, Spirit Bear picking up the Orb of Venom. If you guys feel like Spirit Bear is a bit too challenging because you have to micro 2 heroes, don't worry, because his main power, it does not come from his laning. Laning is just one of the extra bonuses that you get once you play him long enough. So you can have somebody else support you, come gank for you in the lanes, and still get a great farm in the lane. Afterwards though, it's a rotation that make or break the Syllabear play. So there are a few ways to build Syllabear. I like the phase boot into the Lightning Hammer Maelstrom, because it provides me with early damage to push down towers. At around 10 minutes, or maybe even earlier, when your bear is around maybe level 8, level 9, the enemy heroes will start to rotate. And as soon as they rotate, as you see here, Windrunner running off, you have to put immense pressure onto the tier 1 tower in your lane and take it off. Then you can assess once again if you continue pushing or not. If we go to the Dire's Fog of War, you see that I have vision of the mid lane hero right here. I have vision of the Void. I also had vision that the Windrunner were here. So the worst case scenario was that 2 heroes would be top. Then I see Enigma dewarding right in the river. So we knew it was 2-on-1, so continue putting on the pressure. Bear with the early phase boot, plus 24 damage, easily is able to take down towers. And as you see here, 12 minutes, you're able to take down both of these towers in your lane. If we look at the gold graph, that is a huge spike for your team, close to 2,000 gold. What happens after? You want to rotate outside of your lane and start joining in on teamfights, as well as pressure into more towers in other lanes. Now in teamfights, you want to stay back and send your heroes, send your bear onto enemy heroes. I made a small mistake and got caught in this choke point here. Now your main hero is slow, so you want to always have your bear in the forefront. You want to make sure your main hero is following so that your bear can face up, chase, and get the last hits. There's a great advantage to this because Spirit Bear, again, has a huge amount of health hero-wise on his own, 1.5k right now. And at the same time, his Spirit Bear is also the tankiest unit in the early game. So you're almost unkillable, and if you don't send your hero into a very aggressive position, your Spirit Bear can tank majority of the damage and able to dish out damage while your main hero is safe. So the micro may be a little bit of a problem for you newer players, but come in with 2 or 3 games, you guys will get the gist of it and be able to play it like a pro. If you guys look at this as we continue, speeding up the video just a little bit, you don't want to let off the pressure, because right now your team has a huge gold advantage that's just increasing, and increasing. As you see here, even though my main hero is caught, my Spirit Bear can still chase and dish out damage. Notice where my main hero is, staying away from the focus of the enemy heroes, sending in this bear. Even though I know my bear is going to attack, I want to keep my hero at the leash range. I don't want it to overextend, allowing it to getting in that few last hits, taking the hero down low enough for the for the battle hunger from the axe to kill it off. And once you chase them away, you want to come back, put in more pressure onto the towers. If you look here, with the roar, you're doing about 150 damage. You actually do bonus damage to buildings, that's 40%. So you're doing 200 damage per hit to buildings, along with the attack speed bonus from the lightning hammer maelstrom. You're doing massive amounts of damage to buildings. A small trick I want to show you here is that if you guys transform back into the druid form and then decide to use a salve or your magic wand, you're healing up significantly more percentage of your health, and then once you're full, you switch back, you actually healed a lot more than you would have without transforming. So as I was about 500 health, with the salve and this, I would have been at 1.1k. But because I transformed back my maximum health between 900 and then I healed up all the way to 900, I heal an extra 600 health this way. I'll show you guys how we take down the last tower. You don't want to let go of your advantage. As you see here, as soon as you stop pushing, the graph begins to dip less deeply. Because even though you have control of the early game lanes, the enemy hero, the difference is still not large enough for them to say, have to focus on you. Instead, they can farm up their jungle. It's very hard for Syllabear, because he's not as mobile as a hero like Anti-Mage, to out-farm a enemy carry like, say, Alchemist. And you're easily able to dish out the damage, as I've mentioned, and with now a new item, Hyperstone, you're putting in even more damage. This is what you want to do when you high ground. You don't want to have your hero up here. You want to have your hero in a safe range. Leash your bear in, look for an opportunity like this one, then start fighting, sending in your main hero. And as you see here, your main hero is always staying afar from the action, so you're never truly in trouble. Put in some damage onto the tower when you can. I thought it was a good idea to take that down first. These guys are chased away from heroes like Puck, Savan's Hammer, Caudle, and if you look at the gold graph, it's spiking even more. Now you want to push the advantage and win, because Syllabear may not be as strong as some of the other builds on him with this build. Right now he has great early game damage to buildings, he has great mobility, and his chain lightning does a lot of damage. But if you were to get, say, a Radiance build, you would be able to split push lanes such as this one, sending your bear and Radiance burning the creeps while still farming a lane or farming in the jungle. That doubles your farm, allows you to get better gold per minute and maybe fight with a hero like Alchemist. But with this build, you have to put in the pressure. At level 12, you have to be pushing in all of these lanes so that you can get an advantage and seal the deal in your win. Because if you look at the other team's lineup, they have Enigma, they have an Alchemist, and a Void. Now if the Void were to be able to farm up, and obviously if the game goes late enough, he will be, then you have almost no way of being able to come in and fighting them like the way you're doing. The Alchemist and Void would be able to eat through your 2700 health like it was nothing. The longer the game goes, the weaker your bear is, but at this point he is possibly one of the strongest unit on the map. As you see here, we're overextending a little bit because I have the Aegis, and because of that it doesn't even matter. Even though you died, you saw the bear with the lightning attack right there. It's being super effective, super strong, and we here take down the last lane. I will speed it up for you guys just a little bit, as you guys will see the end of the game. Thanks guys for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know it was helpful. Really appreciate it. See you guys next time.